Radioscope, the National Science Magazine program.
Hello and welcome to this edition of the National Science Magazine program, Radioscope. The topics this evening are narcotics and psychotropic drugs, extraction of rare elements, and autism. The International Day Against Drug Abuse and Illicit Trafficking, or World Drug Day, is marked on 26 June every year to strengthen action and cooperation in achieving a world free of drug abuse. This year's World Drug Day campaign recognizes that effective drug policies must be rooted in science, research, and full respect for human rights, compassion, and a deep understanding of the social, economic, and health implications of drug use. This year, World Drug Day is a call to raise awareness, advocate for investment, empower communities, and by empowering youth by providing knowledge, skills, and resources to become agents of change in their communities and to promote international cooperation. The theme this year is "The Evidence is Clear, Invest in Prevention." This evening in the studios to raise awareness about the harmful effects of drug use is Mr. Shailendra Kumar Mishra, Zonal Director, Narcotics Control Bureau, Bengaluru. Hello and welcome to the program. Shri Shailendra Kumar Mishra is a Zonal Director of Narcotics Control Bureau, Karnataka. He is a 2000 batch BSF officer who gained vast experience while serving in different parts of the country, and currently he is on deputation to NCB since 2019. As Zonal Director of NCB, Bengaluru, he is overseeing the jurisdiction comprising entire state of Karnataka. Prior to coming here, he served as Zonal Director of NCB, Gujarat, which had the jurisdiction of Gujarat and the Union Territory of Daman and Diu. During his tenure as Zonal Director of NCB, NCB saw some notable seizures of narcotics and busting of significant network of interstate drug traffickers. Now, under his guidance, the NCB Bengaluru team is working in a new direction with a more focused approach to bust significant drug trafficking networks in the state. He possesses immense experience in training and also is one of the first recipients of Home Minister's Medal for Excellence in Police Training. Welcome to the studio, sir.
Thank you so much.
My first question to you is, with what purpose was NCB established in 1986?
So the establishment of Narcotics Control Bureau was for the sole purpose of combating the drug menace that is engulfing our country at the moment also. So during that period, it was decided that there has to be one lead agency to look after the trouble in a holistic manner and to guide and to act as a lead agency to combating this menace.
Since its establishment, with changes in the scenario surrounding narcotics and psychotropic substances, how has the role and responsibility of NCB changed or evolved?
Yeah, earlier NCB was mostly into training and guiding different law enforcement authorities in doing their task in a correct manner. But now, for past few years, it has also greatly remained involved in busting of networks and drug cartels. So at present, in the last 4-5 years, you might have seen that there have been many cases where NCB has remained involved in busting of great networks in entire country. And that was the sole reason why this agency got involved in this purpose.
In modern day, what are the most important goals of NCB?
So most important goal of NCB we can characterize as under 3 headings, that is demand reduction, supply reduction and harm reduction. So this I'll like to elaborate. Through demand reduction, the young and the children who are school going, college going, recently who have joined job and are having a lot of money with them, to make them aware to understand the threats of drug menace that is engulfing. And if they do not learn to say no to drugs, or if they want to fall into the trap of drug, then how it can ruin their life for their future course of action. Second thing is supply reduction. So supply reduction is mostly related to drug law enforcement agencies such as NCB, police, customs agencies, DRI is also involved in that. So through these agencies, we are trying to put a barrier on the inflow of drugs through various channels from sea, from land routes or from air route. So every agency is trying to put hold on the input or intake of drugs so that it does not reach us to the consumer, even if he wants to purchase that drug for himself. And the third is harm reduction. Harm reduction is for those people who have already fallen into the traps of drug. So to bring them out of that net, NCB also provides guidance with the help of NGOs, with the help of counseling centers. We try to provide them the support that is deeply required for the people to come out. This is especially meant for the victims, the people who have fallen for no fault of their own. So this is to help them out so they can feel free to come out of drug menace.
For the common man and particularly the youth, can you please explain the terms narcotics and psychotropic substances?
Leaving aside the technical jargon, narcotics and psychotropic substances. This can be taken as a central nervous system affecting drugs.
At what age or how early are the youth being exposed to drugs?
There is no particular age, and going by the history of interdictions that the agencies have made, we have found that children of very small ages, such as 12 or 13 years old, initial stages of teenage, has been found to be indulging in various kind of drug abuse sort of thing. So several times it has been noted that simple medicines that are available, such as codeine cough syrup, nail paint remover, which are easily available. So children become attracted towards inhaling those things. They start consuming codeine cough syrup, and that becomes the stepping stone for them. And if they are not controlled during the right period, then they will certainly graduate to next level of drug abuse.
Can a parent know when a child is being addicted to any substance?
There are several telltale symptoms. If parent is aware and very active and very involved in the child's life, that is basically the prime task of parenthood. There are several ways and means through their daily habits, through their friends. The company that a child is having indicates a lot towards threats that he might be going into in the future. So parents have a lot of responsibilities. They can identify through the change in habits. Like if a child, he was very much outgoing, now he has started to remain into himself. He is trying to just remain in his room. He is not ready to mingle. So there are so many indicators. Secondly, his own cleanliness, care that he is taking about himself. He is not into cleaning himself. He is not taking any care regarding his appearance, his dressing. So there are several means through which this can be identified.
What does the parent do next after he observes these changes?
First of all, I'll indicate the very important step is the counseling of the child. I already mentioned that parent is the guide. He is the first guide for any child. So if you speak to your child and understand the issues, then it is most likely that you will be able to pull your child back, because most of the time it is for the experimental purpose that the child is going into something. So if you are very observant, remaining alive and remaining involved in the child's life is very important. If the child has crossed a certain limit, and certainly then no counseling at parent level will be helping him, then he can take help of experts in this regard.
So I just want to know, how has NCB changed over the years, changing your techniques or?
Basic approach has always remained same, because this is mostly physical interdiction based thing. So we mostly remain upon all ears to the physical inputs that are provided to us by the society, by the people who are living around the society. They communicate various things to us. Then second thing is our own informer base, those who are roaming around in the social circles, and they also identify and notify us regarding issues. Newer times, there is a lot of threat posed by darknet. So now the young generation is mostly falling towards darknet. They are using cryptocurrencies for importing, and darknet is somewhere where you can find anything. There is no dearth of availability. So people are moving towards. So we are also involving ourselves into darknet also, so that we can identify the defaulters, and after identification we take severe action against the people who are involved in this thing. One thing which we are not taking lightly is the darknet issue. So any supply which is coming through darknet is coming under the scanner, and we are taking all the corrective measures to book the defaulters as per the provisions of NDPS Act.
In the end, what would your message be to the youth of our country who are most prone to engage in offences as well as to these drugs?
The message will be that the life is yours. We understand that you say that it is my life, I would like to live it through my way. But always remember that consequences will always be yours only. So if you are living your life, if you want to live your life in your own way, then the consequences are certainly going to follow. And for those consequences, although you will be personally responsible, but beyond that, your family, your friends, your brothers, your sisters, everybody gets involved. So before taking any wrong steps, not only you think about yourself, but also you have to think about your near and dear ones. So be aware, be cautious.
Thank you so much for coming to the studios and creating awareness about narcotics and psychotropic substances and their detrimental effect on the youth and the young children of our country. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much.
You were listening to Shailendra Kumar Mishra, Zonal Director, Narcotics Control Bureau, Karnataka, Bengaluru. And talking to him was Roselind Mathew. And now, talking to us about the extraction of rare elements is Dr.Deepa MB, Senior Chemist with the Department of Mines and Geology, Government of Karnataka, Bengaluru.
A great discovery of eco-friendly method can recover rare earth elements needed for green energy. Well, in our childhood, we all have heard the name periodic table in our classrooms, right? Yes, it is an orderly arrangement of the chemical elements into rows and columns. The rare earth elements about which we are talking today are a group of 15 lanthanoids plus scandium and yttrium in the same periodic table. They share similar geochemical properties and are often found together in geologic formations. These elements do not occur in nature as individual elements, but rather as minor or major constituents in ore accessory minerals. The concentration is usually too low for profitable mining and extraction. At present, the whole world is concerned about climate change and energy independence. Wind electricity and electric vehicles are two major options of the green energy transition. One of the main strategies to achieve net zero carbon dioxide emission by 2050. As a step forward, recent years have witnessed an increasing awareness and significant use of rare earth elements, especially in electric cars and wind turbines. Of course, their applications are countless in modern industries like defense and telecommunication systems, electronics, transportation, chemical catalysts, and medical applications. Due to its large demand, there is a rat race in procuring these elements. Although new processing technologies have been improving, the scarcity of the resource, complexity of exploring, the high cost of mining and refining, benefication have contributed in large measures in damaging the environment and human health. It is imperative that the ecosystem needs to be protected. Scientists and industrialists are trying to develop a better recycling methods to recover rare earth elements from electronic waste like flat panel screens and batteries. This is, however, very challenging as many of the products contain only a small amount of rare earth elements and it is difficult to extract. For instance, a collaborative team of researchers from Trinity College, Dublin School of Natural Sciences and Irish Centre for Research in Applied Geosciences have just published their innovative findings in the International Journal of ACS Omega. They found that the use of environmental friendly eggshell waste as a sustainable alternative sorbent for the capture and separation of rare earth elements from aqueous solutions. The researchers placed eggshells with major constituent calcium carbonate, means calcite, in solutions containing rare earth elements at various temperatures from 25 degrees Celsius to 205 degrees Celsius and for different time periods of up to 3 months. They found that the elements could enter the eggshells via diffusion along the calcite boundaries and the organic matrix, and at higher temperatures that the rare earths built new minerals on the eggshell surface. At 90 degrees Celsius, the eggshell surface helped recover formations of a rare earth compound called cosite. As things got hotter, the eggshells underwent a complete transformation with the calcite shells dissolving and replaced by polycrystalline cazoite. And at the highest temperature of 205 degrees Celsius, this mineral gradually transformed into a stable rare earth carbonate mineral. This is used by industry to extract rare earth elements for technological applications. This innovative method suggests that waste eggshells could be repurposed as a low-cost, eco-friendly material to help meet the growing demand for rare earth elements. Minor elements like these are defining the power of major countries in future, like oil controlling the global economy.
That was a talk by Dr.Deepa MB, Senior Chemist, Department of Mines and Geology, Government of Karnataka, Bengaluru. And now moving on to our next topic. Every year, the United Nations chooses a theme to highlight a specific autism-related issue and to raise awareness worldwide. The theme for this year is Taking the Mask Off, which highlights the importance of embracing one's natural behaviors, preferences, and ways of interacting with the world. With us in the studios is Shreedevi Pradeep, Special Educator and Parent, Shwetha Rameshbabu, Special Educator, and talking to them is Shilpa Sathyanarayana.
Hello friends, listeners. Welcome to the program. Today you are with me, Shilpa Sathyanarayana. World is rapidly changing and there are so many buzzwords around. AI, global warming, and also a popular word around in the medical world, autism. Today we have with us two special educators of autism, Mrs. Shwetha Rameshbabu and Mrs. Shreedevi Pradeep, to shed some light on this. So Mrs. Shwetha, what is all this buzz about autism? Why is it so popular?
Shilpa, I would like to correct. Do you think it is popular? No. It is an alarming word which our society have to take action about, because a recent visit to my pediatrician, she said at least 5 out of 10 cases in the young children, she is referring them to a neurological pediatrician to screen who fall under the spectrum. So this is an alarming cause, though not popular, because the number of cases are increasing day by day and the society have to take action about it.
Why should people know about autism?
Because they are not different. They are same people like us. Only thing is like their neurodevelopmental milestones are not achieved as per their age equivalent criteria. They can also mingle with us and then perform better, and they need a better chance to be in the society as an inclusive person. So that is the reason we have to take action.
So you say that this is something that the society needs to be aware about right now and needs to be addressed on priority.
True, very true.
So what is autism to you, Mrs. Shreedevi?
Autism for me, it's always unique, totally interesting, sometimes mysterious. I'm a parent of autistic kid. I've been through from last 8 years with autism.
So, Mrs. Shreedevi, I would like to know how have things changed compared to 8 years ago?
In the beginning, it was very less aware with the society and all, but nowadays many people are aware of autism and behaviors of autism and all, but still we need more awareness.
Mrs. Shwetha, how has society adapted to autism? How has it been dealing differently with autism these days?
We have a lot of facilities available right in Bengaluru. There is a sensory park available for our children wherein people who are in the spectrum, right, they can take their children to the park free of cost and help them to seek their sensory related issues. In Bal Bhavan, we have the sensory park.
Why is the need for this special sensory park for autism kids?
Because our children seek sensory related things. Some children, they are afraid of sound, but some children like to explore things which are very soft. They would cling to the soft things. And as a parent, we need to expose our children to all kind of material so that they can be calm. Suddenly, when they are exposed to that, they should not melt down and show behavioral issues. So to avoid that, government has set up this system so that they can expose them, and right from the beginning age, they can address that in a better way. So that is the reason this has been done.
Is it easy to recognize that a kid has autism if I look at a kid as an outsider without any knowledge about autism?
So to our eyes, it will be really difficult, but when we try to communicate with them, you can find the difference. They'll not be able to gauge the social cues. Like, for example, right now you're smiling at me. I can understand that you are smiling at me, but people in the spectrum will not know that and they will just give a blank face to that. So once you start communicating with them, yes. And once the meltdown happens, yes. And there are also certain symptoms which as a parent you can find, like flapping of the hands, seeking for jumping up and then swirling around yourself. So these are some of the symptoms. And also some things like to name call, they will not respond back. When you address them, hey, they'll not respond back. Eye contact will be less. So these are all some of the symptoms when the parents, if they identify at an earlier point in time, they can seek guidance through specialists and seek intervention.
So, Mrs. Shreedevi, how difficult was this situation for you?
So what my thing is, I used to tell him before that, I'm going to this place, we are going to this place, you have to behave like this. So I just make him to understand the scenario before itself. This is my strategies before going to any function or a party. By God's grace, I never felt much problem while traveling because as he diagnosis as early, I used to make him to take therapy and I used to practice him at home. What are the therapists used to tell me that. So even for the traveling also, I used to make him ready earlier. In the before day itself, just we are going to railway station, these things will be available. So you have to be like that. Yeah, sometimes while going for a long time, even he will get bored and all.
Adding to that, children follow routine much. Our children who are in the spectrum like to follow routine. So to set the routine, if we prepare them, as she rightly said, through visual schedules and social stories, there are many methods where we can prepare our children. Okay, hey, today we are going to go on a picnic, and in picnic through the bus we are going to travel. Through pictures, the parent or the educator can communicate to the child and prepare them. What happens is they do not know what is going to come. That's where the anxiety level increases and they start to behave in an odd way. But when they are well prepared that these are the things which might happen, and even sometimes we can also add this will happen, but if it is not going to, we will go here. So if they are well prepared, the children are able to handle those kind of sudden changes with ease.
So patience and preparation is the key. And of course, like you said, earlier detection always helps, gives you time to prepare them as they grow.
Very true.
I have heard in the airports there is a provision that you could identify them using some special markers. What is that?
So they call it as sunflower lanyard. As you rightly said a few minutes before, how would you handle this invisible disability? So to address that, people who are flight crew members, they may not know, because our spectrum children also will be like a normal child. They may not know that they will have sudden meltdowns and they will behave in an odd manner. So to avoid that, if the parents who are booking the flight who have children in the spectrum, opt for the sunflower lanyard, which they wear it along, and
Lanyard
then
like a tag.
Exactly. The crew members will be able to identify and be prepared that yes, sometimes because of noise or turbulence, the children might behave in a different way. So I can provide some calming things like noise cancelling headphones or a blanket which he will be comfortable, or provide a toy which he prefers. So these kind of things can be provided, and the crew members also be well prepared to address that kind of issues.
And this is a world norm. Everywhere in the world they use the sunflower lanyards.
Yes, like many of you would have known that wheelchair assistant we opt for. The same like that, if parents opt for it, the crew members will be well prepared, and then they can address the issue if at all the child goes into a meltdown situation.
Mrs. Shwetha, I know that you have been a special educator for a long time now. Are you aware of organizations which probably support in this regard?
I myself picked up this course to understand what it is, because a close relative of mine, her son was diagnosed who was into the spectrum. So what happened was, as a problem solving person, I wanted to do search and find solution for that. Something like go for functional medicine, or do this diet program, it will cure, or have this brain tablet, it will cure these symptoms. These kind of things really was questioning me a lot, and I wanted to know personally that is this the right way to do. That's the reason I studied this course, to understand more about what the society or the government provides support for us. Yes, there are many institutions who are providing support for our children, and we need to seek the right support and guidance. Your pediatrician, who is a known person to you, will be the right person to guide. Just follow whatever the intervention program they suggest and stick to it. Early we catch up, early the betterment of the child's livelihood.
If there is one last message that you would like to give to our listeners who might be wondering what is autism about, so what would you like to say?
Just accept.
Acceptance is the key.
So, acceptance is the key.
So acceptance, listeners, you heard that it will reduce the problem for the parents, probably half, and the children's completely.
Yes.
So thank you, Mrs. Shreedevi, Mrs. Shwetha Rameshbabu, for your valuable insight into this topic about autism, which the world needs to know, and we all have to move together in this battle and make the world a better and inclusive, like you said, inclusive space for every one of us. So thank you all for listening to this program. I hope we all move together to a better tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You were listening to Shwetha Rameshbabu, Special Educator, Shreedevi Pradeep, Special Educator and Parent. Talking to them was Shilpa Sathyanarayana on the topic of autism. And this year, the theme for autism is Taking the Mask Off, which highlights the importance of embracing one's natural behaviors and preferences and ways of interacting with the world with compassion, kindness, and love. That brings us to the end of this edition of Radioscope. Produced by Roselind, Mathew and Nandan Kumar LO, this was a presentation of Akashvani Bengaluru, brought to you by Akashvani Delhi.
Radioscope, the National Science Magazine program.